$175. So that's all I paid for this 1978 Sea Lark. Restored it in the driveway. I turned it from rotten to resto mod. First order of business, getting these gunnels painted red. Next up, I got my leftovers from SeaDek and the floors. Worked out a plan to cover the gunnels, 1 for comfort and aesthetics, and 2 because the red is bound to feel hot in Florida sun. Once I took care of that, I got my favorite astronaut and mad scientist friend Matt to engrave the Terra-Shark logo in some blood orange SeaDek. So I cut it into a hexagon that fit in the front, and I framed it out with some leftover gray. 4th of July, we did our first twilight trip in the boat. So I had to wire up the nav and anchor lights because we were going to be out after dark. But I thought we'd step it up a level. I added some red deck lighting to add to the whole vibe of the boat. The boat needed transducer, so I put an Airmar Thru-Hull in, so I could get a clean readout even when the boat was underway. I did a full how-to video on the channel just about the transducer. You can check it out. We put the boat through a lot of tests, trials, caught some fish, started to think about the exterior aesthetics. My son suggested making the boat match the truck, which seemed like an awesome idea, so I got out some vinyl, hand cut some stripes, and we got them on. It looked awesome. I just wanted something more. I was thinking a 6-foot-long Terra-Shark seemed like a perfect remedy. Matt got to work, brought me the perfect cutout using vinyl from my stripes. One thing I've been planning to do, but I keep neglecting, is spark plugs on the Evinrude. I have not done them since I got it. I've just been kind of trusting that they're not totally trash. It does have one spot where it likes to stutter a little bit, where you kind of just start loading the engine and the RPM's low. But it runs out fine anywhere off of that. I'm kind of hoping that spark plugs will remedy that situation. Got the proper champion spark plugs just for the Evinrude. I'm gonna check the gap on them, and then I'm going to take the cowling off and start removing the old ones. One big thing is on an Evinrude, they want you to index the spark plug to point the opening at the injectors. So I'm going to pull those, I'm going to mark these the same, and I will put them in and then turn them so they're indexed. I'll show you. These are all pretty rough. Definitely, I think it will benefit from a plug change. This one's a little angry. So I think that will be a plus. You see they have them all marked, the alignment with the electrode. So we will do the same thing. On the E-Tech, the injectors are these large pieces here. So when you tighten your spark plug in, you want it to end up with your mark facing in the general area of that injector. You want fuel to be going right at the opening of your electrode. So I'm going to grease these plugs, and then we're going to put them in.
Here we go.
I torqued them all to 22 foot-pounds, checked the alignment. The ones that needed more turning, I raised it up to 29 foot-pounds because you can go a maximum of 30. And then I turned them until they were oriented perfect, as long as I didn't go over 30 foot-pounds. So So I have them all set up. Now I'm just gonna start it and make sure it's good to go before we take to the lake. I don't want to run it any longer than that without water, so, but it fired right up as it should. Sounded all right. We'll put this thing in the water, we'll run her out. Spark plugs definitely seem to clear up whatever stutter that the engine had. Ran out really nice. No problems even when loading it at low RPM. One thing I've been thinking about with taking this thing out on the big water, spending a long day out on the ocean, it's gonna get hot and the T-top is the only shade. So I purchased a canvas that goes from the T-top and it goes down, stretches to the front of the bow of the boat with just a few straps. You can set it up that way. There's some shade for anybody that needs to cool off, whether that's the wife, the kid, or me or a dive buddy just overheating. One thing I need though, on the gunnels, pad eyes, or as I like to call them, inchworms, because they're like, so I'm gonna put those in. And then when we get on the lake, maybe I'll try out this shade. I'm not a big fan of a lot of stuff on the gunnels. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the pad eye here, kind of in line with the T-top, right where the seam is. And then I plan to put a cup holder here. So at least where there is something on the gunnel, I have it together. So it's not like a piece here, a piece there, a piece there, a piece there. We don't want that, we want clean. So we'll mount these. And then when we get some cup holders, we'll hole saw them into the gunnel there.
Here we go.
$175 for this boat, and it's almost worth 100 times that now. You can check out the whole set of videos on the channel. They're all on a nice playlist for behind the scenes content, personal touches, and sneak peeks to upcoming stuff. Check out the Patreon. My wife slipped up, said she wishes the boat had a swim platform, like the boat we did a shark dive in Jupiter off of. And that got me thinking, what if I built an outboard bracket? Extending the boat another 2 feet, getting the outboard off the transom, having a full 6 foot wide, 2 foot long swim platform across the whole back, and have another place for me to have some custom SeaDek all over it. So I've begun building it, and I'm going to show you in the next episode. Looks like I found another project. I bet she regrets saying anything.